This walking wanted poster is actually James Gale from Total Control Magazine, and he's lovely. Sorry about calling you a walking wanted poster. You brought along 3 chilly sort of games for us this time. What's this first one?
This is actual ice hockey.
Sorry. Don't look at my pie. Okay, now tell us about the game. Right.
This is actual ice hockey 2 on the PC.
Okay, and is this a simulation? Like a really, really serious simulation, or just a bit of a laugh?
It sort of sits on the fence between the two. It's more of a simulation with arcadey elements than an arcadey game with simulation elements, but it doesn't really succeed in either area.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, you know, speaking of arcadey elements, do you get to have a fight like what they do in ice hockey?
Absolutely. That is probably one of the better things about it. Having removed it from previous games, it's nice to see it back in. Help break up the gameplay a bit.
Right, I mean, how does it feel to play? Does it actually feel as if you really are skating across ice at high speed?
I suppose it does in a way. The momentum's there. The lack of traction will always make sort of control very difficult.
Sorry, I didn't make you. Sorry, you're saying. But I mean, okay. I mean, it looks very impressive. I mean, you know, does it make you feel cold? Silly question. Marks out of 10.
7.
Okay, not bad. Sorry, I got a mouthful of 5. Let's move on to the next game. No, you can't. It's my pie. Right, let's move on to the next game. Right, don't look at the pie. Right, show me what this is. What is this?
This is Big Air on the PlayStation.
Big Air.
This is yet another snowboarding game.
Right, okay. What exactly is Big Air?
It's kind of, well, basically it's a racing game, and somebody thought, well, let's throw a snowboard on there and a few tricks and bits and bobs. Well, that's what it feels like anyway. It feels like a very unfinished racer.
Is it easy to control? I notice you're sort of you're sliding off the side there, which isn't your fault. You're talking at the same time, but is it easy?
It's not half as good as the control method on Cool Borders 2, say. Right. But it's relatively simple.
It's quite fast, but I noticed there's a bit of pop-up, which is the scenery kind of like drawing itself in at the last minute. Is that a big problem?
I think they put the pop-up to really complement the sheer ugliness of its engine. it really brings out the real nastiness and unfinished quality about it.
You don't really hold it in high regard, then? Is that what you're saying?
Not really.
No. Well, I mean, you know, this is all quite, it's all quite hip, isn't it? Wouldn't you say? Marks out of 10.
5.
5. Oh dear. Right. Well, thanks for not looking at the pie. Let's have a look at this game here. Another snowboarding game. What's this?
This is Snowboat Kids in the N64.
Snowboat Kids. And wait a minute, that doesn't look very realistic to me.
No, this is a real comic book racer. This is Mario Kart on a snowboard. Right. And that is a hearty recommendation.
I heard that the best snowboarding game on the Nintendo was 1080 snowboarding. Is that set in the year 1080?
No, it's not actually. The 1080 is the spinny bit that you do on the board.
Oh, 1080 degrees?
Yeah.
How silly of me. Now, is this easy to control? I noticed something because the Nintendo's got like an analog little stick there, so
The control method's really smooth, it's very nice, but the complaint I have is the stunts. I think there's about 3 stunts in total. It seems almost feels like the computer's doing it for you. Look.
Oh right, yeah, you didn't look exhilarated then.
No, not at all. No. The adrenaline's not pumping.
Spinning through the game like that. Okay, well, what would you give this one out of 10?
A kiddie 8.
Kiddie 8. Okay, well, thanks very much for coming along and showing us those games, James. Here's a mark of our respect. Could you give this geranium to your boss for listening?
Sure, but can I have the pie?
No, that's my pie. Alright? Cheers.
It certainly does. We gave the community
This lovely person here is Jim Haryott from Computeractive Magazine, and he's brought in 3 more games for us to look at. So Jim, what's first?
Well, first, Charlie, we've got Alien versus Predator. Now, if you ever wanted to pit 2 formidable monsters against one another, you've got it now. The Alien against the Predator, and you can play either one of those characters. In fact, you can play 3 characters on this. It follows a pretty well-trodden path, first-person shooter. It's very gory. It's great fun.
Excellent. Now, I mean, it looks a bit weird here. Why is it all so green? Ooh,
you see, it's changed now because we've got different vision modes. Like this is the Predator in night vision.
Oh, look at his little alien arms. So what would you give it out of 10?
I'd give it 7 or 8 out of 10.
7 or 8, not bad. Okay, let's move on and see what else you got. What's this?
Well, here we've got Castlevania 64. Now in glorious 64-bit, it reminds one a bit of Zelda.
Why is it called Castlevania 64? Is it the 64th in a line of Castlevania games?
No, thank God we haven't had to put up with 64 versions, but it's for the N64 in 64-bit. It's great. There's some good camera angles. You run around, smashing the hell out of skeletons.
You run around. Come on.
Here we go, let's have a look.
Okay. All right, and you can bang into walls, presumably. I mean, this looks a bit like Zelda, yeah?
It looks a bit the same, and it's a third-person thing, which is similar too. But you can use 2 different characters here, and there's lots of nice.
It's got a bit of a horror theme. So marks out of 10.
Marks out of 10, 7.
7 out of 10. All right, not bad, I suppose. Let's move on. Have a look at the final game. Okay, what's this?
Here we've got Kensai Sacred Fist, which is a lovely beat 'em up, basically.
All right, we're choosing a stage here. Let's see. Oh, Hyomo versus Saya. All right, well, I'll be Hyoma, shall I? What's going on in this game? Oh
Well,
my goodness.
There are some nice moves. You can pirouette around and drag people around and beat them senseless, but it's
Right.
quite slow. Not wonderfully exciting.
Right, you can't have a meaningful conversation about your problem.
You can try, but you won't get very far.
Right, so is it realistic? Have you been in many fights?
Not like this, no. But it's not too bad. It's nothing special. I'd say out of 10, 6.
6 out of 10. Well, there you go. Well, actually, now, thanks very much for that, Jim. And an expert though you are, we think we found someone who's super qualified to have a look at our last game, which is actually Drop Zone on the Game Boy Color. We gave this to none other than Leo Sayer to see what he'd make of it.
This is Drop Zone on the Game Boy. So right, oh, hang on. It says this is Drop Zone rules. Yes, okay. Stroke, no problem. Now I've got to shoot down the green ones while trying to save the blue ones. Oh, I've saved. No. Oh, there. Oh, got him. Can you see this? This is pretty cool. This is fabulous. The graphics are great. I'd give it 5 out of 10 because I've got to learn a little bit more before I can really sort of give you a real opinion on it. So, can I borrow it for a couple of weeks?
Thanks very much, Leo. Here, have a handful of jam.
Thanks, Charlie.
Gia.
Thank you, Charlie. Now, our current champion, Douglas Adams, last time scored 264 points. Before them, Patrick Moore scored 36 points. In our Super Cobra Celebrity Challenge, if you want to find out how massive Guitar Guru's Reef did, then stick around.
Yes, but before you go, don't forget to tune in next time where you can see more Technovision, more of this file and more all sorts of little knowledgey nuts that we like to dish out. And why? Because we're nice.
In the meantime, I've been Gia Milinovich.
And I've been Charlie Brooker.
Bye.
Goodbye. Oh, thanks.